Okay. Not trying to stay up too late, so let's just do one. Make up for being an absolute moron earlier today. That seems simple enough. Alright, I imagine it'll be a lighter. I don't know why I started saying one thing. I do imagine it'll be a lighter crowd. But what I was thinking was, be careful with my skill champs that can actually inflict debuffs. Hey, how's it going? Hey, Zeno. Hey, John, how's it going? My day's been fine. Told. Want someone who can throw frequent specials, so let's do this. I might be being too precious with this one, but I don't want to be stuck with skill champs that can't do anything by those debuffs. I don't know why I did that. Hey, Nartic. I'm doing pretty well, yeah. We're settling in here. Still don't have hot water. Would be better if we had hot water. Oh, I'm not touching that asphyxia. I'm sorry, but like that didn't happen until I was already done with my workday. It's not an event that I'm responsible. It doesn't touch my teams at all. Please don't ask me to speculate on that stuff. Yeah, exactly, Narctic. The cold shower was kind of nice when I got back from the concert last night, but short of that, not been amazing. Yeah, thankfully it's not cold here. It's honestly like the shower part stinks, but what's bothering me more is the inability to like really wash dishes if they get greasy. It feels like it's kind of getting in the way of what you call it, cooking, which I would like to do. Okay, let's make sure the next person isn't shock immune. Okay, that's fine. Wait, that was dumb. I literally should have. I intended to use Black Widow and then clicked Black Panther. Whatever. Crits will do it. Cool. Controls are not really doing exactly what I want them to tonight. I noticed the same thing in raids before this. Whatever, you got it done. Oof, yeah, no, I don't think I'm gonna warm up water to wash dishes. Like, yeah, if push comes to shove, but landlord just needs to get out here and actually fix the dang thing. Okay, what's next? Silk. I need to start saying it out loud so that I can think back to when I said it. What he's saying is, Fixie, is that his understanding is that the points are just on or off, as far as I understand. So it's like you'll just get the bonus next time, and it won't put you further behind. But that is purely my reading of what he typed, and it could be wrong. It's definitely not an official statement. No, I'm not going to get any Furies from this because they're not actually going to expire. Oh, Tranquility being on this one, where you have to actually let debuffs expire to get credit for the Furies, is so annoying. I mean, whatever. We do enough. But that's a really annoying combo. Hey, Silver, how's it going? I don't know that I can answer that one. That's a lot of good options. What do you mean pay to win locked? Hmm. Must be missing something. I'm not seeing anything about the web store here. $800. Let's just back up a minute then and look at this as a sense of scale. Um, there's a lot of points on offer here. 800 isn't that many. I don't look. I know that some of y'all are just not gonna agree with me on this, but if somebody is spending $200 on this game, can they not like? Is 800 points in an event like this an unfair advantage? Like, I promise you, this is not just because I work for the company. I feel the same way in other games. I don't care. If somebody's spending a bunch of money on the game and that means that they rank a little bit higher in the game that I'm not paying for, then that's like net good for me, right? I promise I'm not trying to be dismissive here. I really don't see the complaint. What is the harm that has been done to you if somebody is ranking higher than you because they are literally subsidizing your ability to play the game? I don't follow. Hey, imbalanced. Yeah, no, I get you. Arctic, don't worry. Purgatory is fun in general. Maybe I should have kept Hawkeye for this Hyperion. Favorite of the Valiant quests? You mean like out of these 6 this month? I don't know that one's really stuck out to me, but I would say so far this skill one has been my least favorite. Because I think this kind of what you call it? This kind of quest is at its best when it's something that the entire class has access to. And not all skill champions have access to damaging debuffs. That's not really my favorite thing. Like, it's fine, it's not the end of the world. What even are the rank rewards for this event that people are so concerned with? Yeah, I mean, this is good stuff. I don't know. Tell you what, Asphyxia, if the event ends and there's a free to play person in the top, I don't know, 20 where the points they got from the web store would have made, or the points that their competition got from the web store would have made the difference. It would have gotten them into like the top 10 or something. We can talk, but I still think it probably won't bother me. That's kind of where I am, Xeno. Like, they're flashy, but this is a multi-month quest. I don't think it's that big a deal. Okay. I need to heal. Bring in my boy. Yeah, the mutant one's pretty fun. Although I kind of wish it was just bleed and not biohazard. I hate accidentally hitting into block and feeling like that's just the end of it. Whoa! Shoot! Yeah, I won't miss these tranquility levels. Yay, 2 Furies. I should have been trying to do that more often. But that's okay. We got some good healing out of this one. I can't say that's happened to me, Nartic. But I've done plenty of similar things. Okay, hold, Hanach. When you say please say it's temporary, is that you saying that you don't want it to be a substitute for potions getting better? Or is that saying that you actively want it to come back down? I need to unpack that. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7. Why? Why do you... Walk me through why you actively like lower item limits. Because as a player myself, I'm not following. Oh yeah, I've got Nick in here. I need to remember that that's a thing. Yeah, Spider-Woman's great. But nothing's worse than this node. Like, why is it a bar and a half of power? It's so stupid. It's, oh, you want a special too? Well, you better make sure that you only do the thing that we tell you to do to gain power once, because if you do it twice, you're gonna have a special 3. Yeah, Ronan is quite good. I won't say I've always liked him, because that would be unfair to MP Blaze and Work in Progress, who turned me on to him. But I have liked him for a long time. Yeah. Probably needed one more hit. Yep, literally one more medium. That's fine. So your concern is the increase in cost long term if the limit stays higher. Is that fair to say? Because I have a counter argument, but I want to make sure that we're on the same page.
The familiar hooded form of Dr. Victor Von Doom stands before them.
Hmm. Interesting, Narctic. I do think Sable's interesting. Um, and I think Sable will continue to have uses, but I do understand where you're coming from. Okay, so here's my counter argument. I think that purely from a player perspective, no matter what the price of purchasable potions is, I think that item limits increase unit and therefore money spend for players. I think that they are a net negative for the player experience. The reason being that if you are subject to item limits, you are actively harming your alliance and your own performance if you use small potions. And the need to only ever use the largest two tiers of potions so that you don't item out actually leads to you spending more than you otherwise would have if you could freely combine a bunch of lower level potions to add up to that larger one without worrying about hitting the item limit. So I think that regardless of the cost of potions now or in the future, that higher item limit is a net boon. And unless someone convinces me that what I just said is wrong, when the time comes, I will argue strongly in favor of keeping that limit up.
Stupid, short-limbed.
What do you mean they don't gain value? Probably a bit, Antrasis. He's okay for surfing, he's not great.
This is Goblin's Madness stuff. Like, why is this even worse than normal?
No, but that's the thing. You're forgetting one very important thing, John. That purchasable potions increase in cost the more you buy of them, and that there are limits on them. If I'm only ever buying 7 of these a week, they all cost the same. If I have to buy 14 a week, it gets a lot worse. Loyalty spend is a lot more efficient if I never have to go above that minimum on the level 5s, because I can realistically use the level 4s, the level 3s, the level 2s as well. And that means that you're not actually net neutral or at a net loss. Have I made any champs besides those 3 to 4? Travis, I've made 12 champions. So yes. I don't really buy that match on either level. There's a fair number of assumptions baked into A that just aren't true. And I understand how you could think that they are from where you're sitting, but I am telling you with absolute authority that when we were working on overhauling the war map, nobody raised their hands and went, I don't know, I think this kind of difficulty right here would probably be appropriate if the players had access to 20 items, but at 15 it's just too much. Or vice versa, right? Like, nobody is thinking that way. And if nobody's thinking that way, then raising it to 30 isn't going to make anybody start thinking that way. And I definitely don't follow you on B. That doesn't make any sense to me. I'll let somebody else name them. I need to get a bot set up with things like that. Oh. Okay, Doom, Quicksilver would work. He will go slow immune. It would come back, but it would work. Nullify immune is probably better. Not a lot of shock immune in science. Could just go Luke. We could use Nico. Let's do that. That sounds fun. And thematic. You dare to cast your shadow on Doom's Doom Door and cast Doom doubts about Doom's immortal Doom soul. Doom, Doom, Doom. Okay, Tyler. I saw that, John. See, that's a funny reference, Hanach, because if you raise the spending limit on a credit card, and therefore your revolving utilization is lower relative to your credit limit, and your credit score goes up even though you're spending the same amount, then you can get a better rate on something in the future. And so raising that credit limit has actually saved you money. So I don't think that's quite the metaphor that you wanted. It's okay. I understand you. I still don't agree, but it was interesting to hear the counter argument. Oops, my bad. Hey, buddy, do you mind? Just throw your special. We all know that's what you really want. Hey, Akbar. How'd your path go today? Thanks for the raid, man. No, Gentle definitely does not need a rebalance. He's getting so underrated. That's true, John. But if people aren't min-maxing that kind of thing, then I don't know, they're not really being efficient with their loyalty in the first place. And I do think that matters, right? I don't think that's me being flippant. I think that if you are complaining that the loyalty economy is out of whack and that we're not giving you enough or that the things you buy with it are too expensive, for the record, I think at the moment they are. But if you're complaining about that and you are not making a point of using your loyalty as efficiently as possible, then it's not really on us anymore. That probably depends on who you're talking to at Kabam, Silver. Been a lot of different things that has meant over time. Take care, Xeno. More expensive than Path 1, but pretty fun with the exception of 2 fights. Yeah, I think that's about as good as that can go. Nice. That's a first awakening on Ironheart. I'm pretty happy with that. Yeah, no, that's absolutely fair, John. I appreciate the discussion. At this point, I think that probably makes sense, Galaxy. I don't think it did when they first came out. I think it is perfectly fair if you have to use units to get the highest level of potions, but potions are out of pace now. They just are. Like I think players often complain a little bit too much about the loyalty economy, especially when it comes to boosts. Like I see high level war players complain that they have to spend units on boosts as they're doing podium pushes. Whoops, accidentally pulled out my HDMI cord. Plug it back in real quick. Um, and like my feeling on that has kind of always been that if you're not feeling some pressure to spend units as you're trying to land third or higher in the world, then we're probably not making resources scarce enough in this freemium game. Um, but I also think that if you just look at the last place that we increased potion availability and power, which was when rank 3s were coming online, and look at where we are in the rank 4 cycle now, and just do some quick math on the difference in health pools, they're obviously out of sync. I have said as much internally. I will continue to say as much internally. I don't mind saying it here. Last analogy, and I'm done, I swear. I know usage is like bloodshed. Raising the limit means you can bleed more and survive the war better, but why not just keep bleeding at previous levels while also keeping survival rates the same by balancing potions? That is a good question that I can't answer right now, and I will just say there's a reason that the item limit went up. That was the easy thing for the moment. I'm sure we'll see it again. Yeah, I can't really speak to that. No, that's fair. I won't hold you to the only. I generally agree with incursions. Incursions is a game mode that's in a weird place where it clearly needs help, but few enough people play it that it's somewhat difficult to justify giving it a lot of help. And because it hasn't gotten a lot of help, not that many people play it. So it's not that easy to justify. You see what I mean, right? It's cyclical and it's annoying because it would be really nice if there were a better answer there and we could give Incursions some more love because I really do feel like the mode has a lot of potential. Oh, I'm not sure I really buy your analogy, Hanach, but the question at the end of it was good at least. I don't know what I want here. Probably just this. Need to broaden the roster a little bit. Yeah. No, I really like Incursions. I'm also a sucker for roguelike modes in general. They're just, kind of tough to get right. As far as the question on what I'm going to get after the reset, I don't know at the moment. I've picked up the mastery point. I have 3 tier 7 basics, so that's not an urgent need. We'll see, but I should probably grab a few of these before they get much more expensive. That level of inflation isn't too bad. I'm going to go ahead and do this. It'll get worse later, and then we can take advantage of the reset. SIGs are good. I love what Kabam has done with incursions. Really enjoy the saga aspect. Wish it cycled more frequently and the store more options for my artifacts. But yeah, I get it's not close. I'm really glad to hear that. The updates that we've done to incursions have not been all me, but I've pushed really hard for the things that we have done since I joined the team, and I take a fair bit of pride in it. So I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, exactly, Narctic. Like it's our team probably has the expertise and experience and intelligence and talent to build something on the level of a Balatro or a Hades, right? It's a good team of devs, but like it's not the whole game. We have a lot of other plates to spin. And so building out a roguelike mode in the middle of the rest of this game is it's just a balancing act. Like, there's a couple designers at any given moment who can focus on it, and then you have to try and do what you can with the engineering support that's available and the UI support, and it's tough. And that's a lot of other game modes are dealing with the same thing, right? Everybody kind of needs to keep everything going all the time, and that is one of the fundamental challenges of a live service game. It's like the Bo Burnham song, right? About the internet. Little bit of everything all of the time. And it's just what we do. Smarter to wait on tier 7 basic. Yeah, given that you're trying to get to like. Yeah, I think with what we've talked about, Akbar, that's probably the right call for you. No, I definitely do not know the exact numbers there. That's funny, John. Yeah, we'll see. I still have hope for incursions. Like it's not the focus for the game, but I hope that we find some energy here and there to keep it moving. They'll always have a soft spot for it. All right, I'm going to go ahead and call the stream here. I've got 2 more quests on this. Maybe I can knock him out tomorrow, but we'll see. See, we got a couple questions and then I'll call it. I'm going to pass on Mins, because that's kind of big. But Shuriken says, silly question, do you guys intentionally make villains into defenders, or is it purely coincidental? Somewhere in between. It's not a pure coincidence. It generally feels appropriate to make villains mean. But it's not a hard rule, right? Like, I mean, if we're looking at this, obviously, I made Photon a defender. Jean has a bit of it. Nico has a bit of it. None of them are villains. Black Panther isn't a villain. Iron Man isn't a villain. But, like, it does, like, villains and their power sets especially do kind of just lend itself to that thematically. And thematics aren't the only thing we work by, right? Like, y'all have heard me talk about that quite a bit. But if something thematically connects with a character, then it's, you know, you're more likely to think of it, you're more likely to develop it, you're more likely to prioritize it as you're sorting through the possible abilities that people have. It's definitely not an accident that villains trend in the direction of defenders. But I think the other side of things that we do need to bring up is that we kind of shipped more heroes earlier and came out with some villains later when the game's RPG landscape had evolved a bit more. And once that happens, you kind of need more defenders, right? And so part of the reason that you see villains as defenders more often is simply because the older characters that would badly need reworks to be defenders are generally heroes, because that's what the game launched with for the most part. Excuse me. Yeah, Elena's not a villain. Yeah. It's a complicated thing. But yeah, not an accident. Whole plot point of Act 3 was that villains were added. Yeah, exactly. Like, the game shipped with a few, but very, very few. Got one. No. Yeah, I've got one more rank 4 available, but I'm going to sit on it for now. And I need to make a prestige move in there. Because Photon, Serpent, Jean, and Thanos are currently my top 4 in prestige. And then I believe Kushala is 5th. And I need to replace her with somebody higher up. Imagine Rhino being overhauled into a crazy defender. Bones are there if you just decide to be mean. I'll admit, I've sketched that out before. This is not to be construed as me saying that I'm working on a Rhino rework. I'm not. But, you know, sketches are fun sometimes. Yeah, I think the unified narrative direction we have these days is much, much stronger than a bunch of different quest designers all coming up with stuff on their own. Like, some of those early story points are solid, but it's much better these days. I agree. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and call it there and go to bed. But thank you all for hanging out, and take care.